Tonight, we're gonna cook some Filipino dish called Sinigang. Tamarind soup base Filipino dish where I'm gonna use beef. Okay, so the beef should be like it should have bony parts. I mean, it's like almost the same as bulalo. If you know bulalo, I'm gonna show you. And this is sinigang. So the only difference is the sinigang is tamarind base. Okay, so it's sour. This is Amar's favorite Filipino dish. Like, he can eat sinigang any time of the day, every day. So I'm gonna cook that using his recipe. Well, I mean, there's no secret recipe. It's just that the way he cooks it is kind of different from how Filipinos traditionally cook it. So, without further ado, let's go and prepare. So for the ingredients, you're gonna need gabi. I think they call this RV here in UAE, RV, something like that. I don't know, like, what's the other term for it, or like the English word for it, but we call it gabi. Okay. Some few chilies, onions, bok choy, very important. And of course, we have the meat right here. So a lot of people use less bony parts, like, which is pure meat, but we just love to have bones in it. And then of course, we have the tomatoes.
Yeah.
So there's a change in plans. So instead of me cooking the sinigang, it'll be my husband, because he doesn't trust me. He doesn't trust my cooking. He came home. The first thing he did was go to the bathroom
And take a poop.
You come home. You rush to come home because you're looking forward to go to the toilet. When you get married, you come home because you look forward to seeing your wife or your husband. But my husband, no. He's something else. I don't know. So what am I here? A slave? Char. Anyways,
Coming from the person. I cook for every day.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna eat. You have to eat. Any secret ingredient, chef?
Yeah. Lau. Lots of lau.
What lau?
Lau. You don't know what lau is? How many times do I have to explain to you lau?
I know what lau is. It's the... Look.
It's the brother of lies.
No. Should I get lau, 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 lau?
As you can see, the oil is smoking hot. I'm gonna put the meat in. This is not traditionally how you make sinigang. I like to do this only because it creates extra flavors. And it's locking the flavor inside the meat, so the meat will still be juicy no matter that, because sinigang is tend to be, you need to cook sinigang all the way, you need to cook meat all the way, it needs to be tender as well. So even if you take a cheap cut of meat, and you give it a good caramelization on it, it will still create that enormous amount of flavor that you want. Now traditionally, Sinigang is made with green tamarind. I only have the cooked tamarind, the black tamarind that we use in India, in Pakistan. So I'm resorting to this. I know the spice mix of Sinigang, so all you haters out there that are like, oh, he's not using like real Sinigang, well, I know how to make it, don't get me wrong. It's just that this is faster, more convenient. I'm gonna put water first. So Grace can't eat too much spice, and I love my spices. So to counteract the effect, I just break the chili instead of cutting it into small pieces. So I still get the spiciness, and I can eat the chili on the side later. And Grace doesn't have to go like, oh, baby, it's spicy.
I don't do that.
Yes, I know my Sinigang is dark in color. It's because I browned the meat. So that's how I actually prefer the Sinigang. I think it has a lot more flavor when you do it that way.
Actually, yes. I would agree to that. There's a lot more flavor in the Sinigang when you like brown the meat a little bit. It's not your typical like clear soup, but it'll taste better because you have that flavor of the meat in the soup, not just the sour or spicy soup that you normally get. So yeah, since he decided to, he does it with bulalo as well. He browned the meat before putting everything else, and it tastes actually really good. I prefer it that way.
So what step are we on?
I don't know, but
We're on some step. Just follow through, okay? You see, the meat is like right above the water. There's the meat right there. Yeah, I touched it. It's right above the water. So that's what you want the water base to be at. And then later, if you want to make it more soapy, you add more sauce, more water. For now, this is it. Okay. Now, if you go to Philippines and eat Sinigang, or if you see the Filipino shows and stuff, they'll tell you that you have to cook the beef for a few hours. Life is short. Stop wasting time. Just use a pressure cooker and cook your meat in 45 minutes. It tastes damn good. I think it also keeps more of the meat nutrients and stuff that you're supposed to get intact. Otherwise, over the time of cooking so much, you kind of lose most of its nutritional value. So I think that cooking like meat in pressure cooker does some good for its nutritional value. But I don't believe in all, like, I don't believe it works every time. Some things you need to like cook slowly, let the flavors develop, you know, so like Okay, baby.
told you it's a cooking show, right? There you go. That's the cooking show. So we'll see how it tastes like. Well, it tastes like every, you know, sinigang that he has made in the past, because if ever I feel like eating Filipino dish, he'll cook it for me. I just send him like how the recipe is, how do they make it, some videos, and clips, and he just, you know, make his way to do it. Because if I do it, somehow there's something wrong with it, and then I'm not gonna be happy. So if he makes it, at least he'll do like, you know, some alterations and stuff, and then it'll turn out good.
So I do 80% of the work. I follow 80% of the recipe, because sometimes I feel like adding your own touch kind of makes the recipe just
What touch? What kind of touch?
For example, in this I added salt and black pepper and bay leaves.
Yeah,
which you normally don't add in sinigang, because sinigang mix already has those things. And like I added like bulalo ingredients into the sinigang basically. So
yeah, the laurel leaves, which you're not supposed to have. Like, we don't normally put laurel leaves. It's only in bulalo, but you know, leave it to the chef. I'll leave everything to him. All the cooking.
All the things that I've learned in like all these years of cooking is basically how to intelligently take a flavor of something and bring it out in food. What spices go well with it, what it would like complement, what kind of ingredient would complement what, like, you know, what wine goes with what meat, what kind of flavor you're looking for in the meat, and what kind of flavor do you want to bring out in the wine when you eat the meat, like stuff like that. Culinary artistry. So it's by Andrew Dornenberg and Karen Page. Okay, what this book does basically is, if you look at it, tuna. So when you look at tuna, you see it goes well with aioli, anchovies, artichoke, avocado, bacon, bay leaves, beans, especially black and white, beets. So basically this person, whoever wrote, the author of the book, has taken ingredients that you would find in everyday kitchen or something, and you know what complements that ingredient, what brings out the taste of that ingredient, what actually gives that ingredient life, as we like to call it. You know, this author has basically put it in a book. So I like to read this book sometimes when I'm lost at what do I do to make my lamb or my beef or my something taste better than what it is. So yeah. Did you know that?
And here's the finished product.
Its roots populated with people of variously indigenous, European, Afro-Ecuadorian, and mixed ethnicity. A mixed bag of influences, unified it seems in one important way.
Good.
Where you go, you see some variation of caldo. Stews or soups ranging from the simple to the complex. Often meat or fish and other stuff. Even a lot of other stuff for very little. There is a natural...
Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you later because we have to dig in.